What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, holding it down for analysisplayground.com and also listening to analysis while giving y'all analysis about Summer League today. We're going to talk about Summer League. I went there, met a lot of people, talked to a lot of people, got far with a lot of people, and seen a lot of these young players play the game that they love so much that they want to do it for a living. And all the great players, all the good players have to start here for the most part. And I'm so happy with a lot of these rookies looking exactly like they do, improved version of themselves, or just excelling in a new role that they have placed in them for Summer League. Sharif Cooper. Everybody made fun of me for saying it yesterday. He was able to hit jumpers. That was a knock on Sharif Cooper. We knew he can dictate pace. We knew he can get to the basket. We knew he can play make with his ability to put so much pressure on the defense to decide how they want to cover him, how they want to guard him. But he was showing that step back three in college. It's not something that he just started doing. It's something that he's been doing, something that he has in his bag before. The best part about it is it was going in. He was setting his feet, taking his time, and just releasing it beautifully. He had shaky releases, inconsistent releases, and forms, and that was a big reason why he couldn't be a great shooter, even from mid range. But he was patient, he took his time, and he looked good. And you can even see when he got the wide open three in the corner, he didn't rush it, he didn't force it. He set his feet, gripped it, fingertipped it, and it was beautiful to see it go in. Sharif Cooper was good to watch because we knew he would get drafted around the second round. We knew that he can be a guy that can be a seventh, eighth guy on the bench on a good team, or even more if he continues to develop and has a better shot. Maybe he can be a Jalen Brunson type guy where he can be a big part of your bench and really give you production with creativity, with his handling ability, his finishing ability, his penetration to collapse the defense, but also his playmaking and outside shooting to make him even more dangerous. We also seen guys like Jalen Suggs, who was the number one point guard in this draft, going number 5. I just watched him play against the Cavaliers, and he looked good, being able to play in passing lane, stay in front of guys, get out in transition, being able to shoot off the dribble is still showing, being able to catch and shoot is important to the guard position, and he has that already going in his first 2 games in Summer League. He also showed that he can create a little bit, getting to the basket, which he showed in college and high school, and still showing that he has some type of in-between game. Would like to see more floaters, more mid-range once he gets the ran off 3-point line, or if a guy just doesn't give it up. I told you he's going to have to be able to shoot those threes because teams going to be able to going to go on the screen. And even when he was making them, or just in general, they still went under the screen. So at the NBA level, if they're doing it in Summer League, they most likely going to do it at the NBA level. So seeing that he's confident in it, seeing that he's in no rush to let it fly, that can be a huge weapon for him to get a lot of easy points, especially if he can make them count, especially because they're wide open. They're practice shots, basically. He just have to knock them down consistently, and that will change how the defense will, guard him, and that will open it up for him to drive, hit the floaters, the mid-range, and the layups, but also get open shots for his teammates, whether it's in the paint or at the three-point line, and that's just going to be growth and development for him as he continues to harness the true power of his game and show that he's probably the best guard on this Orlando Magic roster. And that's why he should be starting. And I'm liking what I'm saying out of him. Cade Cunningham had a game where people feel like he struggled. Had a bounce back game against the Rockets, which was a tough one for him. But he showed his ability to shoot the three, shoot off the dribble, catch and shoot, spot up. And that's what's going to be the big thing for him. Being able to be a hybrid player, a guy that can handle the ball and make his teammates' jobs easier by creating offense for them, but also being a guy that can play off the ball and be so dangerous with his ability to handle the ball, put the ball on the floor, make a mid-range, make a floater, get to the basket, and get to the free throw line, but also his playmaking ability once he gets to the NBA level where you're actually playing with Jeremy Grant and these guys. their job is going to be easier, and so is his, because he doesn't need the ball to be a great scorer, because he's just so good with his IQ, knowing where to be on the court, being ready to shoot when he gets the ball, and just being an accurate three-point shooter and mid-range guy in general, and also having the handle and the strength and the length and size to finish and get to the basket. So Cade, to me, has been impressive. I have liked pretty much everything I have seen from him, even in his first game. And I feel like he will be a great player in this league, especially as the talent around him continues to get better. And that should happen at the NBA level. Jalen Green has been huge to me, exploding to the rim, handling the ball, getting to his spots, being able to make the easy ones and also the tough ones. His shooting has been a lot better than what I thought. He has always been a streaky, inconsistent scorer because his jump shot comes and goes from three and from mid range. But right now, he's just feeling himself. You can see him putting in the work. You can see his hunger. You can see his explosion. You can see his ability to know this guy can't guard me. This guy can't stop me, and I can do whatever I want on this court. That's the type of attitude and bravado that he has, and he's doing it in Summer League, and it should make the Rockets fan happy. You lose one of the greatest shooting guards ever in James Harden, and you get a guy that feels as confident as Harden in his game, and he feels like even if he isn't there, he will get there, and that's the type of guy that you want in Houston, and that's the guy they got in Jalen Green, and the best part about him, he can actually use his length and quickness and explosion to be a particular great defender once he adds the strength to be able to stay and take the banging, but also using his length and explosion to be a rim protector and stay in front of guys and make things difficult once he fill out his body and his core. Evan Mobley hasn't been the scorer that I wanted him to be. He still shows the versatility, being able to mid-range, being able to handle the ball, being so long that he can rebound, he can finish without even bringing the ball down, just by finishing, by catching and dunking, doing putbacks. He also shows ability to be patient. He doesn't seem like he's rushing it, doesn't seem like he's forcing it. He just takes his time and picks his spots when he wants to score and how he wants to score. Is versatility. That's something that he's been known for. He's showing that in Summer League. I just wish he was a little bit more aggressive. I feel like he can bang a little bit more, get a little closer, and even just dunk on people in general, because he's just so much longer than a lot of these guys that if he played with just a little bit more attitude and a little bit more force, he can be even more efficient and even more dominant in the paint mentality a little bit if he wants to be a 20-plus point scorer in the league. Because right now he looks like a guy that can play off other players but make jobs easier for other players. But if he was just a little bit more nasty, like Greg Popovich said, he can be a way more dominant force in the paint while also being able to kill you with his screening, his playmaking, and also his post game, which is still evolving and growing as a teenager. But if he had a little bit more nasty in him, I can see him being amazing at the center position. And I think that that's something that I'm going to continue to watch. Bull obviously had his game where he comes out of nowhere and have a game where he's hitting threes, hitting layups, getting out in transition, rebounding, and blocking shots. And Bull showed his potential. He showed what he can do as a big that's skinny, mobile, and can handle the ball a little bit. Still isn't there defensively. Still isn't there consistently offensively. Still got to believe a little bit more in that jump shot. But he's showing signs that he can be an NBA player. And that's all you can really hope for Denver, especially against this type of competition. Patrick Williams gave us a game that we wanted him to have, where he was able to hit the mid-range, kill teams from three, while also showing that he can create his own shot, or showing signs that he can create his own shot, which is ultimately what you want out of him. A guy that can defend, switch and guard multiple positions, rebound, hit spot up threes, put the ball on the floor, get to the basket, or hit a jumper off the dribble. And he showed those things that we wanted him to perfect. And he's showing signs that he's going in that direction. We just will have to see if he can be effective and consistent and efficient at it. And that's going to be the question for him. Aaron Nesmith erupted. We know he's a shooter. He came in college as a shooter, in high school as a shooter. He's a shooter in the NBA. And he had an eruption with 33 points. The Celtics going to need scoring. They're going to need a spark. And hopefully Aaron Nesmith can be that for us in the NBA. But we have to wait to see. Chris Duarte also had 21-7 rebounds. I liked it. I feel like he's the perfect glue guy can pass a little bit, can defend, but also can shoot some threes and some mid ranges, get out in transition, space the floor. The perfect complementary player. Maybe can be a starter in the NBA if he rounds out this game and be a little consistent with his jump shot, which he showed in college. He just has to prove it at the NBA level. Other than that, you have small players that's around the league that's having good games, and people like Moutier and Michael Beasley, and we even seen sightings of Brandon Knight, which is hilarious because nobody would ever thought that until it happened. But other than that, a lot of these rookies are looking amazing. I like what I seen out of Scotty Barnes, being able to hit the three, being able to hit some mid range, being able to get the ball in the post. I like the fact that the Toronto Raptors are giving him the ball, allowing him to feel it, allowing him to make plays, but also allowing him to score in multiple ways. Scotty Barnes showed signs of being a high IQ player that can really make the right pass and the right decisions, but he also showed that he can make some shots. I like the fact that they're putting the ball in his hands and asking him, here you go, do some things, show us some stuff. And he was able to show that he can do a little bit more possibly than be a glue guy. And if you can get that out of him and he can do it at an early age, Scotty Barnes can be something special. I also like what I seen out of Sengun in 2 games. He was able to post up, get to the free throw line, was solid rebounding, still with like a little bit more of a motor, a little bit more physicalness from him. I also feel like he thought a little bit too much trying to score. Maybe it was the length, maybe it was the size and the speed getting to him. He has to adjust, has to slow down a little bit, but also has to know what he's going to do before he's trying to do it. Instead of thinking too much or trying too hard to score, I feel like that could be a problem as it is a 3-second rule, and it also clogs up the offense when you're in a post. And then if you get double teamed or trapped or help defense come, you have to pass it out, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of wasted time. So I would like him to speed it up a little bit, but be a little patient with his footwork to get to his spots, to get to a clean shot, and also be able to finish at a good level, which he's shown that he can do it over in Turkey, but we have to see it in the NBA, and that's something that he's going to have to master if he wants to be a great NBA player in this league. We also seen one of the guys that was also drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans just erupt for 30 points. I think that was huge for him. Being able to snipe the threes, Murphy being able to snipe the threes and being able to hit the mid range. He's going to need to be a 3-and-D guy, and that's something that he's really going to have to do for the Pelicans. They need shooting, they need spacing, and he's shown the ability to do it in college. He's shown it in a game in Summer League. They're going to need it from every single night that he plays with the Pelicans, and it's just going to be interesting if he can do it at the NBA level like he did it in the other levels so far. And it's just a testament to, his work ethic and his growth as a player just to do it at the highest level, and that's what you put the work in for anyway. We just have to see those results. And it's just so much going on in Summer League that I can cover over 30, 40 players. But obviously, I can't do it in a short video. But I covered the standouts. I covered the guys that made a big splash, guys that had huge games, and guys that really impressed me so far. And a lot of it is the lottery. A lot of it is throughout the draft, whether it's some guys that was in the second or the first round. And there's going to be some guys that I missed out on. But like I said, I can't cover everybody. But other than that, that's just a quick basic touch-up of what I seen in the Summer League. And I'll be coming back to y'all with my Ben Simmons video. Other than that, Quinn Wade, Basketball, and I'll see y'all later today. And hopefully you guys enjoying Summer League like I am. And I'll be back.